version of printmaking using our recycled bubble wrap. Make sure you're on the textured, the bumpy side, and we're going to use some washable markers, and we're just going to color our bubble wrap. I'm going to use varieties of oranges and yellows for mine. I'm going to use a piece of white paper about the size of my bubble wrap, and I'm using a damp sponge, and I'm just going to add some water to my paper. I don't want my paper to have puddles or be real soggy. It should almost have a little bit of a shine to it. So damp but not soaking. Once your paper is wet, you're going to take your bubble wrap and you're going to flip it over and press it to the wet paper. I'm going to just kind of pat it gently. I'm not rubbing it because I want to keep those little circles that are on the bubble wrap. If I rub it, it might smear more. Peel up the bubble wrap when you think it's ready. We're going to set that aside, and we're going to set our paper aside to dry while we work on our bees. Since we're doing recycled art, I want to use some recycled paper. This is from a phone book. And I'm using a Sharpie, and I'm going to draw some little ovals. And my bees are going to go in different directions, so I'm going to draw some of my ovals going in different directions. Next, I want to add their stingers. So at the bottom, I'm just going to do a little triangle. So that one's at the bottom, that one's on the side. I'm going to make this one on the left side. I'm going to add the stripes on my bees, so I'm going to leave some space for the face. I make a curved line. I'm going to make that line then a little thicker. I'm going to make two with a space in the middle, and then I'm going to make one right at the bottom touching the stinger, and then I'm going to color the stinger in. So that bee is going up, and then I'm going to add the face. I'm just doing two eyes and a mouth, and I'm going to repeat those steps for my other two as well. Now I just need to color my bees. I'm just going to use a yellow marker, or you can use a crayon, whatever you have on hand. I'm using the same paper to make my bees' wings, but I'm not attaching them to the bees right now. I'm going to add that later. Just kind of looks like a long stretched out U that's closed. And I'm just adding those with a Sharpie to cut out later. And you're going to actually need 8 of these if you're making 3 bees. So now you just need to go ahead and cut everything out. Now that everything's cut out, I'm going to glue my wings to my bees. And the bee that is kind of flying straight up, that one, I'm going to do 2 wings on each side. And I'm putting the wings, I just need a little bit of glue at the bottom, and I'm gluing it to the back. My other 2 bees, they're each only going to have 2 wings kind of on the top. One I'm going to do behind the body, and on another one it's going to be kind of on top. Now I want to check my print, make sure it's dry, and if it's dry I can go and glue my bees on. I want to make sure that I kind of spread them out. I don't want them all in one little area. And when I glue them on, I'm using my glue stick, and I want to put the glue on the back of my bees. I'm not going to put my glue stick on the printed paper. Now that the bees are glued on, I'm just going to go back with a Sharpie, and I want to add their antennas. So it's just 2 little lines coming off at the top of their heads. So I'll add that to all of them. And my bees that are more kind of on the side view, I'm going to add some little legs. And since they're an insect, that's 6 legs. And then we'll be finished with our recycled friendly bee artwork.